Never thirsty. Never thirsty.
Hey guys, how are you?
What's up, brother?
How are you?
I'm good. My name is Luan Pham, and I was listening to the banter about wrestling. You left out Jimmy Superfly Snuka.
Yes,
Oh.
Superfly Snuka, man,
Legendary.
jumping
Right.
off the top of the cage.
I hurt myself watching him
Yeah,
jumping off things and stuff.
I think we were all in our living rooms yelling at the TV together. I think we're all kind of came up in the same era, so I enjoyed the banter. But thanks for having me on this morning.
Yeah,
No problem.
I wanted to talk. The world is obviously a crazy place, and there's always room for someone to come and disrupt the way that things go and come up with something new and a new sort of solution to a real problem.
Yeah.
And I think that you have got something very, very fascinating that I'm curious about. But for those who are interested, I believe that, listen, times are dangerous right now. And this gentleman right here has a company that he's going to tell us about that is getting sort of, I don't want to call them weapons necessarily, but ways to sort of protect yourself and your family in a non-lethal way where you can still show an intruder or some unwanted entity that you mean business without having to put them in the ground, which is something that I would imagine police forces and other places probably are looking at these types of potential items. Let's let you explain it, but
Sure. And I think there's a lot of conversations that come out with it. Again, my name is Luan Pham. I work for a company called Byrna Technologies, and we produce a device, a non-lethal device called the Byrna launcher. And the Byrna launcher, although it looks like a pistol, we call it the Handgun. It looks like a pistol, performs like a pistol, but was designed to be less lethal. And as we all are aware, there's a lot of social unrest that's happening, not only in the United States, but globally. And from our perspective, we feel like on the continuum of force, as they say in law enforcement, that if there's an altercation, you try to get out of it through verbal judo, right? Talk your way out of it. Hey, chill out. And when verbal judo fails, most people, they think of the next alternative is going lethal. And from our standpoint, that's the nuclear option, right? There has to be other ways for folks to de-escalate and escape the situation. And from our standpoint, we feel that between verbal judo and lethal, our product needs to be that solution. What makes the Byrna launcher so very unique is it's not classified by the U.S. government as a firearm. It's essentially an air gun that uses CO2 canister where you can load in this unit, lock it up, and it shoots projectiles, 68 caliber projectiles that contain different types of ammunition. Our most powerful solution is called the Max round. It's a combination of tear gas and pepper. So when you hit an assailant with it, it automatically attacks their central nervous system. So eyes voluntarily closed, can't breathe, choking, your nose is running uncontrollably, and it feels like your lungs are going to collapse. And so when someone gets hit with that, the last thing they're going to think about is attacking you. And what makes this and the other options are pepper, which is straight pepper, or we have a pure polymer round, which is essentially hard plastic that can break auto glass. So a pain deterrent. And what makes our platform very unique is that, as I mentioned, it's not classified as a firearm. So there are no background checks required, no permits needed to own this self-defense device. And you can travel freely across all 50 states. That being said, there are some cities that restrict the carry of any product or device that launches projectiles, such as New York City, San Francisco or Seattle, I believe, but everywhere else you're pretty much safe to carry it. We do advise that people check their local law, their local laws to just be completely safe. But what's unique about our product is, beyond, people think that we're primarily focused on just law enforcement, and that's a key aspect of it because our law enforcement officers need to have an in between from lethal and verbal judo, and a lot of times this can de-escalate so many different situations where if they're dealing with someone that is combative, this should be the first go-to. And we've trained over 150 law enforcement departments across the nation, including ATF, DEA, and a few other government agencies. But the goal is to get folks to, let's not create a situation where lives are being lost and through these types of shootings. The officer, good, right or wrong, is going to get drugged through the coals.
But I also think, like, psychologically speaking, like, imagine if you're on the other end of that, right?
Yeah.
And you're in an altercation with somebody. It doesn't even have to be law enforcement. You're in with somebody, and somebody pulls one of these things out, and you get hit with something. You're also not thinking, "Oh, that's a non-lethal thing."
Right.
Like, you're probably like, "Oh, I'm getting shot at. I gotta stop what's happening."
Yeah. Two of our most popular colors are the orange and the black. And the black, if you look at it, it looks like it was designed after a Glock. Yeah. So a lot of it is deterrent. When people pull this out, I mean, like, you pull this out, you got to think of it as a firearm. It's serious business, and you're protecting your life. You should not be walking around the streets waving it or advertising it. But we get so many stories on our website, Byrna.com, and the blog, where people talk about the instances where they were in danger and they pulled out this device, and either the assailant walks away or the situation is reduced back to verbal judo, right?
And also, like, let's be honest, okay? Like, if you're living your life, I don't even know how I want to word this, but it should never even come to this. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
Absolutely.
pulling out a gun on somebody is like, that should never even happen in your life where you have to even do that. And God forbid that situation arises. This is the God forbid button. So this is like, if you were ever put in a situation where you needed to do something like this, which I hope anybody watching will never be in that situation. So it's like, I don't think you're buying one of these to walk around and shoot things and have fun with it. This is like, in case of emergency, break glass. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, you're very right. I mean, like, full transparency, I'm a firearms guy. I lived in Oregon for 4 years.
Yeah.
So I have everything from, just every type of weapon. But, people don't realize when you own lethal firearms, there's a complexity. Once you fire that bullet, you are responsible for that bullet, man. And you hit someone, whether right or wrong, you're risking your freedom. You're definitely going to need a lawyer up. You are definitely going to be dealing with, potential civil lawsuits and the PTSD of taking another human life.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of people out there that, troll us and say, what happens if, you're bringing a knife to a gunfight? Like, look, in these situations, when someone's in my house, they're going to get 5 rounds of this as a warning shot, right? And then hopefully if it takes you out, I can clear my family, great. But if my life and my family's life is in total danger, that's mean like 99.9% where I cannot make it out alive, then I will escalate it to a different situation.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. The people who are saying it's bringing a knife to a gunfight, like, you're not bringing this to a gunfight.
Never thirsty.